This week, the IRS is sending nearly 1 million more stimulus payments to those who qualify, for more than $1.8 billion. Counting this week's batch, that makes 165 million payments the IRS has made since March, when the American Rescue Plan became law. But the IRS is not done and said it will continue to make payments on a weekly basis, and that includes plus-up payments for those who are eligible for the supplemental stimulus money. With the ongoing stimulus payments overlapping with the May 17 tax deadline, you have plenty of reasons to watch your mailbox or bank account for money for the IRS, including your tax refund, if you're still waiting for that, too. Once you get your third payment, you should look for a letter signed by President Joe Biden from the IRS with information on your money. Don't toss that notice. We'll explain why below. Here's what to know about the IRS timeline for payments, including how to report a stimulus check problem and when it's time to file a payment trace. If you have kids, watch for child tax credit payments for up to $3,600 to start this summer, and how to claim up to $16,000 for childcare expenses. Also, here's how to check on the status of your tax refund. Here's how to see if the IRS has a tax refund you need to claim and what we know about a fourth check. This story is frequently updated. IRS sending new batch of plus-up payments and stimulus checks this week. If you're still waiting for your payment, the IRS said it is sending this week another 960,000 stimulus checks to those who are eligible. And if you've already received your third check, you could receive what's called a plus-up payment, too. The IRS is sending 460,000 of these plus-up stimulus payments this week, for more $800 million. What are these plus-up stimulus payments? Depending on which year's tax form the IRS used when it did the math on your third payment, the IRS may have calculated the amount of your payment using an older tax form instead of your 2020 filing. If this is your situation, once the IRS receives your 2020 tax return and calculates your third payment again, under the American Rescue Plan, you could be due more money based on information from your current filing, or on other factors if you don't usually file. The IRS said it will automatically send these plus-up stimulus payments if it needs to square up the amount it owes you, but to double-check the math, you may want to confirm how much money you should expect this stimulus round, and then track your payment. IRS payment timeline through December 2021. Most of the third stimulus check payments have gone out from the IRS and U.S. Department of the Treasury based on what information the IRS has on hand to determine payment amounts. This week, that includes 500,000 payments to those the IRS just received a tax return for. The March stimulus law, however, gives these federal agencies until December 31, 2021, to send out all the third checks. That gives the IRS room to process 2020 tax returns and square up payments for those who are owed plus-up amounts, folks who file a 2020 tax extension, and other groups, like those who moved or don't have a fixed address, such as people experiencing homelessness. If all or part of your stimulus check doesn't arrive by then, you'll need to claim missing money via a 2021 tax return in April 2022, a year from now. This would be similar to the recovery rebate credit for claiming missing money from the first two checks, which is currently in effect for 2020 taxes. The IRS tracker can show you a daily update of your stimulus check status. Knowing the status of your payment is an important part of making sure you know where your full payment stands. With the IRS Get My Payment Tracker tool, you can get a daily update on the status of your payment. The online app can also alert you with a message if there's a problem with your payment that you may need to address. It can't, however, give up an update on your plus-up payment status from the IRS. If you expect your payment is coming in the mail, you use a free tool from the U.S. Postal Service to track your mailed stimulus payment. Hold on to that Biden stimulus letter from the IRS. Keep that IRS letter signed by Biden that confirms your stimulus payment, including the amount and how the IRS sent your money. That letter from the IRS, Notice 1444-C, is your proof that the IRS sent a payment in case you don't actually receive it or if you received less than you qualify for and need to claim the missing amount later. Here's more on what to do with that IRS letter. The IRS could owe you money from the first and second stimulus checks. Plus-up payments are going out weekly along with the third round of checks, but they may not be the only money you're due. For money missing from the first two checks, you need to claim that on your 2020 taxes. You have until tax day to do that, which in 2021 is May 17. We suggest making sure you also know where to find your adjusted gross income. Tax non-filers may need to be proactive about claiming a new dependent, too. What if you have a problem with your stimulus payment? Start here to see an update on its status. The IRS doesn't want you to call if you have any issue with the delivery or amount of your stimulus check. So what to do instead? Our guide walks you through how to report stimulus check problems, including checks that never arrived. Try filing a payment trace, direct deposit payments that went to the wrong account, and other issues. Did you get less money than you expected in your check? The IRS isn't particularly big on communicating how much money it calculates for your stimulus check. You won't find that figure in the agency's online tracking tool, but you will see it in the confirmation letter you'll receive in the mail. And here's why you got the payment size you did. So what happens if you use our stimulus check calculator and notice the numbers seem way off? Or the IRS letter quotes an amount you didn't receive? Start by triple checking your qualifications to make sure you're eligible for the total you expect. Remember, the IRS is automatically sending plus-up payments, and that happens after the agency receives your 2020 tax return. If you had a baby or added a dependent in 2020, you won't need to file an amended tax form to claim the supplement. The IRS could open up claims for missing stimulus money before its December 31 deadline to stop sending checks. If not, you might have to wait a year to claim it when you file your 2021 taxes in 2022, even if you're a non-filer who isn't typically required to file taxes. Why your stimulus money may not have arrived. There was a calculation error and you need to claim an adjustment or wait for a plus-up payment. You receive SSDI or SSI benefits or veterans benefits and are waiting for your check to show up. Your check is stuck in the mail. Here's how to track it. You may not receive money for all of your dependents, including a new baby or older adult. The IRS based your third stimulus check on your 2019 taxes and you're owed money for your 2020 AGI or dependents. You may be a non-filer who needs to file a 2020 tax return to claim dependents. Your stimulus check was deposited in a closed or temporary bank account. You moved and the IRS doesn't have your correct mailing address to send a check. Your payment may be garnished by private debt collectors. You accidentally threw away the mailed envelope. Also, here's what to know if the IRS sent a letter confirming it sent your stimulus payment, but the money never arrived. Here's more information on problems you might encounter with your stimulus check. Your 2020 tax return really does make a big difference in your payment total. Taxes are due May 17, so how will the IRS figure out how much it owes you? It will calculate your total. You can also do that here. Based on the most recent tax filing it's processed at the time it's ready to tabulate the amount of your stimulus check. If you know your tax return was already processed, your total will likely be based on your 2020 adjusted gross income, not on your 2019 AGI. That presents complications if the difference between the 2 years disqualifies you from getting a third stimulus check. On the flip side, if the IRS uses your 2019 taxes and you're owed more money based on your 2020 AGI and dependents, you could get a plus-up payment. If you've got more money than you're owed, you'll only need to return it to the IRS in some cases. Stimulus check details for Social Security SSI and SSDI recipients and for veterans. Veterans receiving VA benefits and people who get SSDI and SSI benefits are now receiving stimulus checks from the IRS and Treasury. Delivery details should now be available in the Get My Payment tool. You might get your stimulus money by direct deposit to existing Direct Express cards if this is how you normally receive benefits, and if you didn't file taxes in 2019 or 2020. Otherwise, the money could come in the mail. Here's what to look for so you know it's legit. The SSA says that Social Security beneficiaries like SSI and SSDI groups will not receive an EIP debit card. If you're a tax non-filer and you used the IRS non-filers tool by November 2020 to submit information, you may have already received your check before other Social Security recipients. There's more extra rules and exceptions to know. Stimulus checks aren't necessarily a one-size-fits-all situation. Here are guides for households with dependents, including new 2020 or 2021 babies, people who live outside the U.S. or aren't U.S. citizens, people who aren't sure if they're qualified to receive their own stimulus check, older adults, and people who are retired, people who don't normally pay taxes, tax non-filers, families with child support situations, families with mixed status citizenship. And here's everything you need to know about the third stimulus check, how to calculate your stimulus total, and every way the stimulus law can bring you more money.